it's always a pleasure seeing you. I feel like this is tradition because we've done this interview here at the CFC. I still call it the CFC barbecue. That's the way I call it. The homecoming. How does it feel being back? And especially because with COVID, we haven't really been physically together. This is about the first time for me, people being together.
I love that we're together, but I think we're all a little uncomfortable being in crowds, a little uncomfortable trying to make conversation. It feels like those muscles have not been stretched for a couple of years. So I do feel there's a little bit of, what did we used to talk about when we all gathered together and hung out? But I think we'll get in the groove of it again. But it's really nice. It's comforting, in fact, to see these traditions, to see Norman Jewison just a few moments ago standing up there. These are part of our icons. For him to talk about Clement Virgo and this is the history of our industry, so it's really lovely to be here.
I'm so glad you mentioned about Clement Virgo because I have been interviewing him since, what was it, Rude Boy, I think the movie was?
Yeah. Forever. Or I think it might have just been called Rude.
Rude. It could have been Rude, yeah. I'm just so used to saying Rude Boy, though. But, when you've seen how he's progressed in so many, not just people of color, but indigenous, and, other ethnic backgrounds, being able to tell their Canadian story. How do you feel about watching that grow over the years?
No, I feel so privileged because I've been in the industry 45 years. I'm sure way back in the day when you and I started, we'd be the only two, black people at anything. And now you look around you and there's so much diversity everywhere that I know we still have a long way to go, but sometimes we need to just take a moment and be grateful for how far we've come so far. It's been a tough fight, but we are making headway. And now there's not just Clement Virgo, but there's such just a plethora of amazing black directors, indigenous directors, other directors of color that have just, we've nurtured especially over the last 20 years. And I would say the push in the last 2 years from the industry, from the government, from the funders, to try and equalize things, it's really been an impressive push, especially in the last 2 years.
One of those reasons why is the man that we actually just heard a couple of minutes ago, Norman. From day one, he has championed these kind of causes. And, I even remember the first time I talked to Clement and how he said that, Norman sort of was like a foster father to him, really took care of him and taught him to be a great director, the great director that he is now.
Absolutely. Norman Jewison is one of those directors that is truly colorblind, and I think he just sees talent where he sees talent and just nurtures it where he can. And Clement was one of the most talented people he knew at that time, and he wanted that talent to rise to the top. So I think that's just such a beautiful story right there. And it's amazing how one man like Norman Jewison could do as much as he's done with his own career, and then given so much back to the community that is Canada. And it must be nice for him to just sit down and think of the thousands of people that he's affected change for and impacted their lives.
I can say the same thing with you. You're doing that too with your own festival.
With Real World, yes, with the Real World Screen Institute, because now it's going into its 22nd year, and the festival is this year, October 12th to the 18th. But we have expanded so many programs through the year with producer programs and screenwriting programs, and now we bring a lot of delegates to the different events, from Banff to, I think we brought 26 delegates to Toronto International Film Festival, to Content Canada. We'll be taking them to Content London. We'll be taking them to Prime Time. So I think that's another step. We need to bring as many people of color into these institutional situations that haven't always seen people of color, and we have to get them integrated in those.
What advice can you give for the folks out there who want to be the next big filmmakers? And again, some of them may feel like their voices won't be heard. What advice can you give them? Because you've been making sure, after all these years, your voice is always heard, the best of your ability.
I really think for your voice to be heard, for people to take you seriously, you have to understand the whole industry. It can't just be whatever your job or your want is. You have to take the time and really learn about what are the government things happening, what are the funding things happening, what is Telefilm, what is the Canadian Media Fund, what are the larger issues that are happening, and speak about those issues. But also I say to people all the time, everyone is not going to be the actor, the director, the producer, the writer. There are so many jobs in the industry, and a lot of people who start thinking, I'm going to be a writer or a director, end up working in the props department, end up working in line producing, they end up working in all different areas of the business. And I think you need to leave yourself open to that.
I absolutely agree. Look, when I got into radio broadcasting, I just wanted to do production. I never thought I'd be in, in the mic and do
show.
it.
Exactly. You don't know where it's going to take you. Almost everyone that was in my acting program at Ryerson, this was back in the late 70s. I'm the only. I think two of us are the only people actually that did acting, and all the others that went into casting, they went into producing, they went into so many other areas of this industry. And right now, crews are the most in demand in Canada. We can't actually get enough crews, and we need more of our people of color to get those great jobs in electrical, in carpentry, in all those great jobs from locations managers and drivers. And there's a lot of good, lucrative work in our industry, and it's not just about, being director.
Last question. Can you still play the sax?
I could if a gun was held, maybe, too. What happened?
One of these days when I know
note out or something like that, it's been a while.
One of these days when I know I'm going to do an interview with you, I'm going to sneak a saxophone in here and have you play it.
Make sure it's a clean new reed.
That's a promise. Thank you as always. Congratulations on your success and always big love to you.
Thank you so much.